And, of course, the entire cast was there, as well as actors whose characters had died over the show's run. Plenty of them were on hand. 3 massive screens hung from the rafters for an early premiere of the first episode of Season 6, First Time Again, in which the Alexandrians discover an old quarry that's become a bottomless pit of walkers. Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln, the former sheriff's deputy who is the show's star and de facto leader of the town, develops a plan to draw them away. There were hundreds, maybe thousands of zombies in that pit. 300 extras were dressed to look like the living dead, more than the show had ever used at one time. The premiere represented a new level of complexity for the show, and the fans absolutely loved it. The fanfare extended well past the screens and stage. The lobby had props from the show on display, like the notorious fish tanks of the villain called the Governor. Hint, they didn't hold fish. And the hospital cafeteria doors with "Don't Open, Dead Inside" written on them. The concession stands sold apocalyptic popcorn, the walking bread, the Governor's nuts, and Sergeant Abraham's macho nachos. People in zombie makeup roamed around. Good makeup, too, show quality. These zombies looked like extras from a taping, not your friends at a Halloween party. The undead posed for selfies, scared unsuspecting people in the lobby, and lumbered around the seats during the show. The entire garden had been transformed. It was like Christmas night for zombie fans. The thousands of fans who attended had come enthusiastically and in costume. There were plenty of Rick Grimeses in the audience, and Michonnes and Daryls. There were Abrahams and Carols, and Glens and Maggies and Carls. They came from 49 states and 9 foreign countries. It wasn't just fans, either. Some notable faces were also in the crowd. Robin Lord Taylor from Gotham, who also had a small role in one Walking Dead episode, was in the audience. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, the twin brothers who sued Mark Zuckerberg over Facebook, sat a few rows ahead. Elizabeth Rodriguez from the spin-off show Fear the Walking Dead was even closer to the stage, chatting with Nicotero, the director, producer, and makeup effects wizard for both shows. Michael Zapsik and Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men sat on the aisle, and those were just the stars near me, the people I could make out on the floor in the darkness. As the Wall Street Journal's resident zombie expert, I was there too. "This is only the beginning of the most intense season of The Walking Dead," Kirkman said from the stage. "No one, absolutely no one, is safe." When the crowd booed at that, he gave it back to them. "Go ahead, boo," he said. "It's still gonna happen. Who's your favorite? They're gonna get it first." Kirkman, a 37-year-old, thick-set native Kentuckian with a heavy beard, does this a lot in his public appearances. Ask him about an upcoming episode, and he'll say, "Is that the one where Rick dies?" Kirkman didn't set out to make the most popular show on television, and to build a media empire around it, and to address thousands of adoring fans in New York City. He started out working in a comic book store, and figured one day that he could write his own. He seems genuinely surprised and bemused by his own success, and has a biting, no pun intended, sense of humor about it. "There's never been a premiere in Madison Square Garden before," Gail Ann Hurd said from the stage. Hurd is a well-respected industry veteran, a producer for both the Alien and Terminator franchises. "The fact that we got to watch it with 15,000 people who laughed at the right moment, who cheered at the right moment, who screamed at the right moment, it elevated the show beyond any of our expectations," Nicotero would tell me later. "I screamed along with everybody else in 1983 when Luke Skywalker toppled Darth Vader. I cheered in 2003 when Legolas single-handedly took down that Oliphant. But those were moments that took place in theaters with a couple hundred people. I'd never been around anything close to the spectacle staged that night at the Garden, when Rick and Daryl and Michonne wrestled with a zombie army. I don't think anybody had. I'm not an art critic. I'm not a TV critic. I'm not a sociologist, anthropologist, or any other ologist. I am a business reporter. But for our purposes, I'm mainly just a